Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about I got rear-ended and lost days of work. Here's what happened. So the other day I ended up getting into a bit of a fender bender incident, and as a gig worker that can mean more than just a simple repair of my vehicle. And while I tried to take a civil approach to move past all of this, it was far from a seamless experience, and I can laugh about parts of it today, but at the time it was much more stressful than it needed to be. So in this video we are talking about how I got rear-ended and lost days of work, what they tried to portray versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over is very market to market and case by case. What applies to me in my market may not apply to you. Also, I do want to say, as I am experiencing this and have experienced this, I think I really should have taken a different approach. While I know why I made the choices I made, I don't like how much of a fucking hassle it turned out to be. Regardless, I am keeping footage and names off of the record for privacy purposes. This isn't about calling somebody out. It's about getting my perspective out there so people can learn from it. So with that said, let's get started. How I got rear-ended. So between orders, I start driving on my way back home to get some work done, and because I am never really done with work, am I? That said, in order to get home, I need to hit the A1A. If anybody knows the A1A in South Florida, it's this one lane road that runs along the beach line that always seems to have construction somewhere going on, police watch all the time, with a lot of traffic, old people on their phones while driving. And that means there's going to be a lot of starting and stopping and starting and stopping and blah, 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 blah. And because this happens during high traffic times, it tends to lead to problems. Some are harder than others because no one knows how to distinguish a red from a yellow to a green light anymore, and people don't know how to stay attentive without paying attention to their TikTok creators. Now, thankfully, while I'm paying attention and I don't hit the person who stops short in front of me, I really wish I could say the same for the person that was behind me at the time. A driver that appeared to be very young and very visibly shaken by the situation. Dealing with the scene. Anyway, she rear-ends me, we both pull over, and I check out the damage. Not detrimental, not devastating, but what I found most interesting was the conduct of all the parties involved. First off, I asked for her insurance, because even if I don't escalate this to insurance, I want to have that on me in case something does go wrong with the overall interaction. She doesn't have one. She doesn't have a license. She calls her mom so that way she could help save her ass via FaceTime. I decided to discuss the events with the mother, and I made it clear that I wasn't interested in making this a full fight. I just wanted to get my car fixed. And look, call me naive, but I felt bad that the young girl would have to have her life turned upside down for driving without a car and insurance just because she made a mistake while she was young. But what ended up happening next was really frustrating. There were these four guys that just walked up to the scene like it was their accident and they were involved. Like, really, why are several adult bystanders just inserting themselves into the situation and began handling her phone, talking to her mother, and making this a whole goddamn scene like it's a group project I didn't sign up for? All they really did was just add a lot of confusion and made the overall situation harder to resolve. That said, the worst part about all of that is that it worked on the mom for a bit. Like, she started asking about the age on my car as they were bashing it, and I was getting more and more annoyed. Anyway, they ended up speaking to her briefly, and then they left, leaving me to wrap up business there and stop holding up traffic. Finally, I made it clear to the mom, like, I didn't want to make this a whole thing. I just wanted the damage repaired. So I got her contact information and sent a message asking the mom to confirm that she will be responsible for paying for the repair. I was also preparing a message to tell her that I wish her daughter was okay and not to beat themselves up too much about it, because, you know, she is young and that can really break somebody's confidence, especially since they will be getting shit from her parents later. Except she tried to get me to limit the damages damages based on the fact that my car was older, and honestly, I just wasn't having any of that. I was careful to keep all the communication of the subject measured in writing so nothing escalated unnecessarily. Dealing with the body shop. So in order to limit any more unnecessary friction, she referred to me to her body shop guy. Of course, his English is a bit limited, and I have no problem with dealing with someone who knows English, but it isn't their first language, but it does complicate the overall process. And we book a time to bring the car in for the next day, and I keep the mother in the loop every step of the way. The next day, I bring the car in for pictures and estimates, and this man tells me that I need to bring my car in and have it repaired over the course of a couple of days. It's kind of expected, but I am standing there nodding while remaining calm and mentally calculating how much money I'm not going to be making. Because as a gig worker, vehicle damage of this nature isn't just vehicle damage, it's business damage, and it's not like I had much of a choice, but it is something I'm still calculating nevertheless. I leave, I let him develop an estimate for the mother, and come back the day of the appointment to meet with the real body shop owner. Meaning that the person that I was talking to wasn't the owner, it was an associate of sorts. But it turned out, as I was talking to him, he explained to me he was actually a business partner that brings work to his shop and does a few other things around the shop, including repairs himself. I explained the situation to him, and he checked the estimate that was sent to me, and he was explaining to me that the estimate that this business partner gave was actually extremely low. Look, I'm not saying that it is wrong to give one of your clients a good deal, but the estimate the guy gave us initially was $200, not $2,800. That was given to me by the business owner that, owns the building. The owner took it up with him and actually made it clear that he will be conducting the repair himself. I got consent from all parties and confirmation that they were paying for it, and kind of left it with him for a couple of days. Now that said, I was able to focus on some other business that I had to catch up on and produce for others. Not to mention I also had a dentist appointment, which is a totally different story, but I finally got my car back and conducted a quick test on the hatchback to make sure it opens and closes properly, and went back to work. Final thoughts. Regardless of how this turned out, I would have handled this differently if I were to go through it again. I'm not necessarily regretting the choices that I made, but I still think I should have called the police. I have had so many opportunities for this to go wrong, not to mention how all parties chose to conduct themselves. Between the mother, daughter, random guys who just walked up to my vehicle, this business partner, and I feel like they should have definitely been held accountable more effectively. I don't think if you rear end somebody, you should be acting like you should justify the damages you did. I feel like everyone that I deal with these days is just not accepting their own accountability for when they fuck up, and it's frustrating. And luckily for them, they unintentionally had the advantage of my personal circumstances, because as a gig worker, I don't want the report on my MVR. As a person who's going through some legal events right now, I don't need to lose more money on the front end of this event. As somebody who's just tired of all the nonsense of random delays from all people that I am working with, I certainly didn't need the stress. And as somebody who had business meetings to attend, I'm happy with the forced time off. But just because I can make lemonade out of lemons does not justify the circumstances that took place. Empathy absolutely has a place, but it also has its limits. Consult with the proper authorities and legal pros to protect yourself, and don't just take the word of some mouthy little shit online. Do what you have to do for you. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I know that this video was actually a lot later. My software, for some reason, we went through an update and it just kept giving me so much nonsense. But I'm hoping that with this recording, I can just get through it all. So if anything, this is going to be the first video with this software update. So regardless, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, check out my website, drivenwyld.com, if you'd like to learn some more about the services and gig platforms that we have talked about in the past and are offering to gig workers today. Also, if you want to stay on the cutting edge of what's happening in the gig economy today and be in the know what most people are talking about, make sure to check out our new channel, the Gone Wild Live Clips and Podcasts, where we take the live streams we hold on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on this channel and cut them down to more digestible clips and have them posted there. Also, check out my Patreon for more exclusive clips, full-length live stream replays, and other membership perks for self-employed individuals who want to grow and scale their business. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching.